and the wolf huffed and puffed.
Like you do sometimes, Grandpa?
Well, when you have COPD, it can be hard to breathe.
It can be hard to get air out, which can make it hard.
So you still live at home with your mama? That's all right. We call that white trash fabulous. And if you're white trash fabulous, you know you can run with a creep. So just sit back, tap them back, and let's go, baby. Come on. I'm rednecks on the ground, and I'm the elevator of a brand new style. Let it stop the world right in its tracks. I'm white trash fabulous. I got a low inside a draw, and I'm making it up as I go along. I got shows to play, I got checks to cash. I'm white trash fabulous, yeah. White trash fabulous, yeah, I say it proud. The steady dropping jaws. It's allowed to be loud. From a boom to CB3, yeah, the crease so catchy. Stop trusting record labels. Oh, so sketchy. I ain't Travis Barker, but I'm marching to my own drum. 50 different styles, dude, I can't just pick one. Jesse James Dupree, I'm a wild dog. I'll hook you on this white trash sound. Like tackle. I keep a Dixie fried shotgun in the ride. 48 natty lights. Gonna party all night. I'm a boom, I'm the big guy. People think he's funny, but I'm still the same dude. Even with a little money, we keep our feet grounded. Thanks to all the fans. Never stop taking pictures and shaking people's hands. So if you wanna keep it trashy and ride with us, come up on the old bus and keep it trash. Woo! Rednecks on the ground. Come on now. And I'm the elevator of a brand new style. And it's out the world right in its tracks. I'm white trash fabulous. I got a low inside a draw. Come on. And I'm making it up as I go along. I got shows to play, I got checks to cash. I'm white trash fabulous, yeah. Back again. Yeah, a big W-S-E and a F on my chest. Three bars running and I better grab a like this. Rock the parties north and south, to the east and the west. You can turn it up with music. Yeah, you better finger. It's them white trash dirty sound. Rock and roll, rock and roll. Got a party in the backyard. And if your lady's getting frisky, she's sleeping with me. I got a Elvis ashtray on the axle road. They keep me in the house when I'm drinking. I got 20 quarts of shine, AC/DC's greatest hit. With a little bit of country and some beasties in the mix. We go harder than a wedding pecker. Man, that's sick. And I'm slipping out the finish line like a blue top. Middle fingers up, baby, you can wave them with us. No fuss and you can trust that white trash. Rednecks on the ground. Come on now. And I'm the elevator of a brand new style. And it's stop the world right in its tracks. I'm white trash fabulous. I got a low inside a draw. And I'm making it up as I go along. I got shows to play, I got checks to cash. I'm white trash fabulous, yeah. Alright, y'all clean this shit up. You know your mama's gonna be home in the morning. I got to go to work. WTF, baby. Rockets and Creek. We're out.
Hi, I'm Cam, just your average belt wearing guy, here to show you how easy it is to use a mission belt. It's so easy to use, you could do it while getting hit in the face with water balloons. Or you can do it while getting doused by an assortment of condiments. You can do it while indulging in your favorite treat. Or a crap ton of your favorite treats.
This really is the nation of rednecks for real. I mean, look at it. Look everywhere. We're everywhere. Damn rednecks. I do really have a Rottweiler named Moonshine too. And this is how a redneck rides. I got a Ronnie named Moonshine. Walks in my house. I keep a fresh true with a green piece of ground. I wore a big buck hat pulled over my eyes. And this is how a redneck rides. I keep a Kershaw book, nice sharp as a tack. I got some chickens in the back. Named Cadillac. Take a field 5 acres in the hillside. This is how a redneck rides. I got an 83 Chevrolet sitting in my driveway. It's pretty thin blonde. Took it to a summer days with a cuss out. This is how a redneck rides. Come here, boy. I got kids running around wearing diapers with some boots on. Play sweet tea, it's a home fry. This is how a redneck rides. Throwing shoes on the weekend. Plays in the yard. Granddad, another cold drink. Bugs after and some laughter when your skaters down. Banjos and guitars sit around. Hands off a truck tire. It all starts at a glass. This is how a redneck rides. Probably wearing flannel and some overalls. Probably got a pocket full of blood and some turkey calls. 5 acres in the land. This is how a redneck turn the radio on. Radio blast, hanging on some cold. And I probably didn't use a tag killing that dough. Either way, hot grease, drop her down and she's fried. This is how a redneck rides. And my southern fried rednecks loving the South. Can't relate to every word, I just said no doubt. So raise them up, everybody, and had it lights in the sky. This is how a redneck rides. Marcus and Creed. See, rednecks ain't got time for all that he said, she said. You got something to say it. In fact, we don't give second chances. Marcus and Creed's here to tell you. You only get one warning, boy. I'm a rebel son and I won't back down. So step away and don't you run your mouth. You're only warning. Best thing for you is to turn around before I knock your little punk ass out. You're only warning. If you're scared, say you're scared, and a matter of fact. If you can't handle truth, go and skip this track. I'm like Red Dawn, big like the Green Mile. Beat you down like that red-headed stepchild. I don't play games, know my name ain't Monopoly. Put me in the pen, no stopping me. Look around corners when you're walking in the dark, cause I might pop up like herpes in a trailer park. Got you shaking in your boots. Let me break it down to give a dose of the truth. Only one warning, boy, yeah, that's all you get. Or you can get your ass popped like an 8th grade zip. Get your teeth realigned, have your jaw wired shut. I'm the Roddy in the yard, you're the schoolhouse pup. I'm the bull in the pen, you won't ever want him out. It's your only one. want 'em, boy, you better make this count. Come on.
I'm a rebel son and I won't back down. So step away and don't you run your mouth. Your only warning. Best thing for you is to turn around before I knock your little punk ass out. Your only warning.
See, I'm hotter than a $2 pistol with a clip in. Redneck spit this whole verse with a dip in. Country boy, it don't matter how you cut it. Keep running that mouth, little boy, I'ma shut it. Shut up. Loud, how you like me now? Got the bull pissed off, guess I'm the mad cow. Back to the lesson at hand. Only warning means one, that means just one chance. I ain't playing no games, I'm sick of the games. You're allowed to mess around and have an insurance claim. When the renegades come, you got nowhere to run. My advice is saddle up and head off to the sun. You had your 10 minutes, dude, you know what I mean. You couldn't spark a hot burst if your pen was made of gasoline. The people know the truth and it's a damn shame. Only warning for you, boy, quit saying my name.
I'm a rebel son and I won't back down. So step away and don't you run your mouth. Your only warning. Best thing for you is to turn around before I knock your little punk ass out. Your only warning.
Check it out, we try to make it real simple for all y'all. We ain't playing games when we tell you what we talk about. I'm gonna give you one warning. If it takes more than that, watch your mouth, punk.
finally here.
Ahora en vivo, Venezuela, Estados Unidos, por ESPN Deportes.
Bull. Yo!
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Oh, I got the crew together. We're trying to rehearse today. I was gonna come use your spot.
Oh, hold up.
Hey, baby, where are my cigarettes?
Ah, shit. I smoked those last night. I totally forgot about that. Oh. Hey, where you at right now?
Where am I? I'm out back right now. We're here.
Okay. Listen. Go get your shoes on. I'll take you up to the store. I'll take care of that for you, alright? Alright. Come on out of here. Listen. Meet me around back about 30 seconds, alright?
the horn, said, look what we found. They thought we were a dime breed, proving them wrong. I'm the king of the dirty South, mud on my throne. It's sink or swim, but where I swim, you'll sink. And I don't give a damn jack what you think. Yeah, the tides have turned, but the clock has changed. You can call me True Grit, but I ain't John Wayne. I'm a renegade, a rebel flag nightmare. Been walking tall since I outgrew my high chair. Born ready, fat chew in my mouth. Rebel pride ain't ashamed, I grew up in the South, where your family had your back, you could call on your friends. Yeah, hop up in the truck and ride the wheels to the end. I'ma stay dirty South, cause that's how I was raised. Redneck, walking tall till they threw me in the grave.
Southern renegade, country boy, born and raised. Rebel pride, I ain't ashamed, and I don't give a damn jack what you think. Southern renegade, standing tall and proud to say, I'll stay country till the day they put me 6 feet in my grave.
You can talk the talk, but can't walk the walk. You're a store-bought country boy, it ain't my fault. I'm a wild coyote on a late-night stroll. I'm that renegade chief, top of the totem pole. Swamp rat, rebel flag on my back. Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama to the Cadillacs. Southern thing, that moccasin stings. Lyrics hit you like that venom, one bite killing everything. Sneak attack, yeah, don't blink. I'm a straight glass of whiskey, you're an umbrella, pretty drink. Hardcore, bleeding red, white and blue. Walk tall like Sheriff Buford and that whole damn crew. It's a cattle crossing, the bulls coming through. The South never died, dude, I thought you knew. Take a tall Georgia pine, chop it up 4 ways. Dig it 6 feet deep and I'ma hop in that grave.
Southern renegade, country boy, born and raised. Rebel pride, I ain't ashamed, and I don't give a damn jack what you think. Southern renegade, standing tall and proud to say, I'll stay country till the day they put me 6 feet in my grave.
I don't even want to know what's going on back there in those woods.
Nobody does unlimited like T-Mobile. While the other guys gouge you for unlimited data, T-Mobile One saves you hundreds a year. Right now, get 2 lines of data for $100 with taxes and fees included. That's right, 2 unlimited lines for just $100 all in. And right now, pair up those 2 lines with 2 free Samsung Galaxy S7s when you switch. Yup, free. So switch and save hundreds when you go all unlimited with T-Mobile.
obviously qualify. But I did not call your name out. Do not qualify.
Before a boat. Can you hear me okay?
Welcome to the ECR Cup Series at Phoenix, sponsored by Logistics in Motion. Tonight's race is going to be 175 laps around this Phoenix International Raceway. And up here in the booth with me is Luis Salmosa. Got a copy, Luis?
I got a copy, bud. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited about this race about to start. How about yourself?
Oh, man, Phoenix is always one of the most entertaining races that we have in the calendar. Always side by side, people dragging around, a lot of crashes coming back. So always very exciting race. Always a fun place to come race.
Absolutely, and it's a flat track, so you're looking at a lot of tire wear as each lap goes by. What kind of strategies do you think some of these guys will be trying to employ?
Well, Phoenix is always one of those places that you cannot go flat out right at the gate, because even though this is a very smooth surface, iRacing did a really good job when they set out the new version of this track with the whole repavement and everything. But it's still a track that will wear a lot of your right front and your right rear tires. Just because of the way that you have to drive, you need to go in very deep into the turns, and you need to let the car sit and then use as much of the speed coming out of the turn as you can. So it will be a lot of wear on the tires. But at the same time, once these guys start going into a groove, there is a big chance that we may see very long green lap runs. So they'll have to keep an eye on the tires, because they are racing with a limited amount of fuel. These guys are not going to be going around the track with a full tank of fuel. They have 50% of the available fuel for the car. We're going to see some strategies to see who's going to go. Is there anybody that's going to pit early? Is there anybody that's going to try to stretch that fuel as much as possible to gain 1 or 2 laps at the end of the race to stay out and not have to pit again? So we're going to see a lot of different strategies. If it was me on the track, try to avoid problems right out of the gate. Let the other guys go. If you have someone that is a lot more aggressive than what you want to do, just save your stuff. Try to keep your equipment intact, because being fast and consistent on the second part of this thing is going to be key. So save yourself, play safe in the beginning, and then go for broke at the end of the race.
I hear you on that, Luis. Like you said, tires could play quite a large part here, and of course, as always, fuel as well. I am definitely looking forward to this race here. I'm looking at the track temperature, Luis, and I'm seeing it as 107 degrees. That's going to be a pretty slick track. Do you expect any early cautions because of it?
I do. It's normal to have a caution here or there in the early parts of the race, just because guys are still trying to find their groove around. Even though they have been practicing on this surface for the last hour and a half, they have been practicing together. It's still practices, race. So the moment this thing is for good and it's up something, guys are going to be a little bit more aggressive than practice. So there is a big chance that we may see a couple cautions early until they can figure out their way and who's faster, who's driving how around the track. So it will not be surprising if the early parts of this race we see a couple cautions.
Yeah, I agree with you. Takes a little while for them to figure out how the track is actually gonna work on their particular driving strategies. And I think, like you said earlier, a lot of them are gonna try to stay a little bit safe. And depending on how it goes after that, I think you'll see some later, a little bit more aggressiveness later on, and you may even see a few of those wrecks later on. Right now, scrolling across the bottom, you got your starting grid, your starting lineup, and we will go through the vehicles here. So Luis, your top driver for tonight, who do you think it's going to be? Who are you choosing?
Well, I have my eye on a couple of guys. One guy that I think, if the result of this qualifying is any indicator, we need to keep an eye on Dalton Tucker. He technically won the last race that we had at Vegas, but because of a late caution and admin meetings, the whole thing, he had to serve a penalty because of what happened on that final restart. So that win actually didn't count for him. So he's starting up front. He is my favorite coming out of the gates, but we had some really fast guys here that are very, very, very competitive, like Thomas Lattimore, like Aaron Berge, like Anthony Titchener, who all won races here before. So we need to keep an eye on those guys because they know how to get around.
Absolutely. As we see now, the pace car is taking them to the stripe with that Dalton Tucker leading the way. We are now going around turn 3. Let's see how this plays out. And Dalton Tucker gets to the stripe first, and he is going to go into turn number 1 in the lead with that number 22 of Scott Hunsinger in behind. So Tucker has came out to quite a start there, a couple car lengths ahead there, and we'll see if the others are going to just be content to ride along, or if some of them are going to go ahead and try to push him and see if he can make an early mistake.
Yeah, we already see, Jeff, a lot of these guys, they took the approach of being very, very cautious right out of the gate. So we can see a single file already forming. So they were very, very cautious in the first lap. Everybody let the other guy just find its place around the track. Now we're probably going to see guys picking up the pace, starting to figure out how fast they can go, who they can pass. So now the race is actually going to start.
Yeah, I think what they really wanted to do, just like you said, they wanted to get a little bit single file and then work on picking each other off one by one. From my prior experience in Phoenix, the first couple laps, you want to warm those tires up pretty good, because the first 2 laps or so, you don't have your maximum grip. It's not until these tires get a little bit warmed up that you can really start pushing it a little bit more. With that said, throttle control. How do you feel throttle control will affect some of these drivers coming off of 4 in the late runs?
Oh, that will be key during the entire race, because the tendency for the driver, once they feel that the car is really hooked up to the track, they can pretty much automatically just go for broke and just step on the gas. But that's something that you cannot do here. For you to go around Phoenix in being fast, you need to do the last final turn using around 50 to 70% of your throttle. You can only actually press the throttle full speed once the car is going straight. Otherwise, there's a very big chance that that bottom right of the rear might just spin around, and then once that rear goes around, you have absolutely no control. You're going to see the wall once that thing happens.
Yeah, absolutely. This track, it's just so demanding. It takes all of your focus, and it is going to be quite a race here. And we have 175 laps, so the drivers will have to stay focused for quite a bit. How do you when you're driving out there, Luis, how do you stay focused for such a long race, in a race that basically takes pretty much all your energy? How do you stay focused? Is there any particular thing you do to keep yourself on the razor's edge?
To me, it always comes down to your markers, to your measuring points. When you're practicing, when you're going around the track, you need to figure it out, especially when you're doing a long run. You need to not only try to figure out what the car is doing, how the car is behaving, but with the tires getting worn, with the car becoming lighter and lighter because you're burning fuel, you need to understand how the car is going to behave. So you need to know at certain points during a run, I know that my car is going to be harder to drive. I'm not going to have the same corner speed. It's going to get looser coming out of the turns. I need to brake a little bit early. So you need to be aware of those things. If you have your markers down, if you know exactly where do you need to brake, when do you need to lift, when can you go back into the throttle, that makes it a lot easier for you to keep focused, because you know that, all right, the first 10 laps I need to drive like this. The next 10 laps I need to drive different. The 30 laps, the 40 laps, the 50 lap mark, I need to go changing my driving style, the way that I drive, so I can keep up with the car and the track. And if you have all of those things narrowed down and you can just be in your zone, not worrying about what other guys are doing, just racing your race, there's always a big chance that you can be fast from the beginning to the end. The problem with the guy with that, you see another guy coming behind, you see a car becoming very big in the mirror, and all of a sudden they start to drive the other guy instead of the track in their own car. That's when we see problems. That's when we see guys overdriving, making mistakes, burning their stuff earlier than they wanted. That's when the thing becomes a mind game. The guy that can stay in his zone, just do his own thing, normally those guys are the fastest guys.
I couldn't have said it better there, Luis. For the viewers out there, Luis races in the ECRL. He's just currently doesn't race full-time in the Cup Series here. He does race in the other two series, that ECRL does actually put out there for drivers. And all of that you guys can if you want to find out more information about that, you'll see on the ticker on the bottom of the screen the league website that you can go to. But correct me, Luis, if I'm wrong, as you are a popular and a veteran driver here. The other two series are on Tuesday, which I believe is the B-Car series. It's called the BeeLine Series, and that series is broadcast by ECR League Youtube. Did I say that right? ECR League YouTube, that's right. And then there's a truck series on Monday. And that's broadcast by Broadcasting. YEAH Broadcasting, and that's done by, I believe, Scotty Brown, who's the number 30 car in tonight's race. So definitely want to check out those broadcasts as well. Excellent drivers, the same drivers, excellent broadcasters. You'll also see a link to both of those broadcasters in the description below of my YouTube channel there. So definitely, please do support the other series. And like I said, if you do want to drive with these guys, and they are fantastic drivers, courtesy, there's rules, there's just a lot of things that other leagues don't offer. You can definitely go check that out at the league website, and they would more than welcome you to the league there. Luis, like I said earlier, you're a veteran of the ECRL. What are some of the things that ECRL offers their drivers as far as funds and things like that?
Well, you can have leagues using iRacing as their service, as the simulator to run their leagues. That let's postpone that. We have our first caution. Yeah.
Let's see if we can find out which one it is here. Do we know who brought out the caution?
I saw Jai Hattery getting off the track. I'm not sure if it was him.
Do you know what car number he was?
Car number 11.
Car number 11. Let's go back and let's see if we can find something here.
Yeah, he spun coming out of turn number 2 of the dog leg. He tried to cut the track through the dog. Ended up losing control coming out of turn number 1. The car became very unstable. He tried to save it as much as I could. Actually, he did a pretty good job avoiding a bigger wreck, not only against other cars, but against got a little bit of damage on that front end. But I think he'll be able to go to the pits, fix that, hammer that sheet metal out, and still continue on the race. There, doesn't seem to be a lot of problems with his with his car.
Yeah, what you're saying there, the instant replay just showed that he did come out of that turn, like you said, and he did hit that back wall pretty hard. We'll go ahead and pay attention to see if that damage that the number 11 of Jai Hattery just had there, see if that will play a role, if that'll hurt him later on in the race here. As far as damage to the sheet metal there, it's not like 1.5 mile or 2 mile tracks where downforce really pays a whole lot of where downforce is necessarily the biggest deal. So he may be able to come back from this. What do you think, Luis?
No, as long as his engine's in one piece and he has the power coming out of the turns, he's going to be fine. He can run this thing like a modified without even the metal around the car. If your engine doesn't have damage, if you can still pick up the throttle coming out of the turns, you're going to be fine.
Yes, sir. Now, as we see now, they went ahead and they've fallen behind the pace car here. And Dalton Tucker I'm still showing him as our first place driver. What do you expect, Luis, that these guys will take as they go into the pits here for their first pit stop? You think there's going to be any off strategies, or do you think they're all going to take 4?
No, I think everybody's going to take 4. I don't see anybody risking taking 2 right at the moment. Because there's nothing that you can gain right now. It's still pretty early in the race, only 14 laps out of 175. So you may see a couple of 2-tire stops here or there once this thing progresses after the 100 lap mark, just because that's when we might start to see guys getting aggressive, and that's when track position is going to be key, especially during restarts. But until that point, I don't see anybody taking 2 tires. I think it will be way too much of a risk. Unless someone is really confident that they can handle the car and they really just want to see how their car is going to behave on 2 tires, see how much they can gamble for later on in the race. But until that point, I don't see anybody taking 2 tires.
I copy on that there, Luis. It appears to me, did they all take pit? They all stopped there in that last time around, or no?
Yeah, everybody stopped. No one stayed around.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm showing as well. I'm showing that everyone stopped. It looks like we had one person take 2 tires. That would be the number 86, Josh Conover. I'm showing that he's only took 2 tires, or had a super fast pit stop at 6.9 seconds. And it would appear as though maybe the number 82 Jordan McKay only took fuel. Aside from those 2 right there, I'm looking at 4 tires for everybody.
Yeah, we saw a couple of guys taking an extra time also trying to fix some damage, but the pace car is ready to come out. They're starting to go green again.
Pace car is down, and let's see if Dalton gets a big jump again.
Oh, big checkup. We have a crash in the back of the car.
Oh, it looks like the number 82. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll take a look at that here. So they got a little bit squirrely there. Let's go ahead to the logistics in motion. Somebody ran out of calories. Let's go take a look at that. Okay, so we have number 82. Oh, he checked up for the car in front of him. And looks like the number 30. Scotty Brown?
I think the whole thing started between Aaron Bergen on the car number 8 and Jeremy Rubin in 25. Jeremy Rubin in 25 was in the 25. I'm sorry, between Aaron Bergen, the 8, and Chris Collins in the number 25.
Yeah.
They got together on the restart. That's where the checkup started. Then you had Rob Haynes coming behind everybody on the outside lane to have the checkup. And just the ripple effect of that thing went all the way to the back. And that's where Jordan Mackey was in the number 82. When it was time for him to check up, there were another 2 guys coming behind me. There was nowhere for him to go. They just got collected and ended up taking the guy that had nothing to do with that was Scotty Brown on the inside. He took major damage out of that thing, so him and the 82, and that was severely damaged for the rest of us.
Yeah, Scotty, yes, Luis. I did hear an engine blow during that replay there that we just saw. And
oh yeah, that was Scotty Brown. I mean, his car is, to say the least, completely destroyed.
Completely destroyed.
He looks more like a modified than a Gen 6 car.
Yeah. So that's too bad for him. His race is likely over. He's going to have at least 30 to 40 minutes of damage. But he may decide to get back out because points are points here. And you never know. Maybe someone a little bit later on down the line will blow up as well, and he can go ahead and get a few more points because points are everything here, and you never know when you're going to need them.
Especially in the season as long as the one that ECR runs. ECR runs the full field of races, so every race that the Cup cars follow in real life, ECR does it as well. So pretty much they're going to be racing every week. There's no such thing as a silly DNF. If you can come back into the track, try to gain a couple of points here and there, it's always going to help you at the end.
Yeah, points are everything.
Yeah, but he'll need to wait 30 to 40 minutes until his pit crew can change that engine and start it back.
Yes, sir. So the lights are still on the pace car here, so we still have at least one more time around. We may see the lights go off this time by, and they do. It looks like Dalton Tucker is going to be leading the field once again. He has led every single lap this race. Your top 5 as it sits right now is Tucker in that 14, Borer in that 15, Lattimore in that 8, 87 of Thitchner 4th, and Hunsinger in 5th. That's your current top 5. We did start off this race with 16 laps of green flag racing, and then yellow flag monster went ahead and bit him a little bit. Let's see if they can get off this next restart without any issues.
And hopefully they're going to be a little bit more cautious now. Wait until after turn 1 to really pick up the throttle. Hopefully we're not going to see a situation where caution brings caution.
Yes, sir. As the old saying, cautions do breed caution. So let's see if they can go ahead and whip this bug. The pace car is off now. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. They are stacking up a little bit, and 14 does get a pretty decent jump. Looks like Dalton's going to take him through turn 1 and 2 as we got a side-by-side battle brewing with the number 8 and the number 15. 3 wide coming out of the oval there. They were going 3 wide into turns 3 and 4, but they thought better of it. And now coming out of 4, they're still there. Whoa, my goodness. Those guys, maybe aggressiveness is going to be... Maybe these guys just aren't going to let up.
Yeah, you saw Anthony Fisher getting a pretty big jump on the restart. He chose to go down and cut the dog leg. That took, I think, Brad Bohr and Thomas Lattimore by surprise when they looked to the inside. The 87 was there, and everybody had to check up a little bit as Anthony dives again inside the number 15, trying to get that position. But I think he's going to get a crossover. Brad Bohr still maintains.
Oh,
and we have a car around.
The number 22 is turning around. Let's go ahead and see what happened there. Once again, this is the logistics in motion. Somebody ran out of time to replay. Let's go take a look at this here. All right, let me bring that replay up for you guys. We'll go ahead and ride in the cockpit of the number 22 car and see what happened here. So we're turning to 3, and let's see what happened. So far, so good. Coming out of 4, no issue. Oh, and he loses it. Coming off of 4, hits the wall, inside wall. Wow. So that right there, that was.
He had Chris Collins on his outside. He had to turn the wheel a lot more than what he wanted, and that's just gonna make the back end of the car just like flip around. Once the back end goes around, he tried to fix it, but it was going way too fast going into the turn, and the wall was right there. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go. There was nothing he could do there. That was that throttle input I was talking about coming off of 4. Hopefully he can recover from that and keep the speed that he needs to finish out the night. Luis, why don't you bring Hunsinger into the broadcast booth here and see if he will give his take on it.
Yeah, let's see if I can find him here. Just 1 second.
So it looks like everybody's pitting once again. While Luis gets a hold of Scott there, see if he's available for an interview. We'll go ahead and see what these cars are going to, how many they're going to take here. So right now your leader is Dalton Tucker, and second Lattimore, third is Brad Bohr, fourth Anthony Fitchner, and the number 44 Joey Stats rounding out the top 5. This is lap 28. Again, this is lap 28 of the 175 Sam Good race here in Phoenix. Do we have the number 22 with us?
Yes, we do. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yes, go ahead, Luis. Go ahead and speak with him.
Well, Jeff, we have Scotty Hunsinger here, the driver, the number 22. Scott, just give us your take really quickly before you guys go back to green. What happened? It looks to us that he just had one car on your outside. He couldn't really take the line that he wanted out of 4. Just the car just became a little bit too unstable coming out of turn number 4, just way too slick, and you lost a little bit of control, hit the wall. But apparently your car is still running, right?
Yeah, I'm still good. I had about 30 seconds. But that was strange. I knew I had a guy on the outside, but I was just kind of taking it easy, and it just kind of pulled around, snapped on me. Didn't feel like it did anything too much different than I've been doing the whole race or through practice. It was kind of weird.
Scott, it looks to us that the track's really slick. Is that what you guys are feeling down there?
Yeah, so through 3 and 4, it's pretty slick. Everywhere else it's fine. maybe a little tight in one and
10-4. But, well, hopefully that machine is not too damaged. You can continue on the race. You're one of the leaders of the championship, if I'm not mistaken. You're in a good position.
I'm in the truck championship, so this is
sorry.
just for
Looking at the wrong time. But you had a pretty good time here at qualifying. You started way up front. You started in second. So hopefully you can drive through the field, get back up there. And thanks for jumping on the Brad Cuts booth with us. Just giving your take.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Scotty. That right there was number 22, of Scott Hunsinger, who got a little loose coming off of 4 there and hit the inside wall. We thank Scotty for his input on that, and we are going to be doing some green flag racing very shortly. So right now the pace car is off, and let's stay on board with Dalton Tucker for this first lap around. Watching live as our race leader Dalton Tucker in a number 14 vehicle makes his first lap around after that caution, and behind him is Thomas Lattimore.
Thomas had a much better restart this time around than he did the last time. He's not letting Dalton pull away like he did in the first stint, and he is bringing Anthony Ditcher with him. Both went around Brad Bohr, who was sitting second a couple of laps ago, so they both cleared the number 15, and both guys, they're teammates, so they're both going after Dalton Tucker, trying to get that number 1 position out of the 14.
Oh, Lattimore and Fitchner are teammates, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
both
okay.
Thomas and Anthony, they run in the same team. They run for Haters Make Us Famous, Anthony's team. So they were teammates last year, teammates again this year. So you never know if there's some communications behind closed doors. Who's saying what to who on the radio? Like, when I'm gonna jump, you jump with me. Let's go inside. Let's go outside. Try to get around.
Absolutely. Now, when you're talking about teammates, normally you think of teammates being more valuable on the larger tracks. You know, especially tracks like Daytona or Talladega, where you actually need somebody to keep the speed, to keep pace with other vehicles. Can you tell me how being teammates in the shorter tracks, and it is definitely advantageous. Tell me how you think, or what type of dialogue do you think that the teammates would be having?
There are 2 very important things that happen when you have a teammate running on a 1.5 mile or a short track like this one that will impact restarts. If you have a teammate restarting in first, he can tell you when he's going to go, because the leader has the choice to start on the inside or the outside. Is his choice. And the same way that the real guys in NASCAR does, we do have a restart box. So at any time, once the pit car get out of the track, the leader can choose when he goes. He can wait until the green flag is out, or he can go the moment the pit car leaves the track. It's up to him. If you are on the radio with your teammates, you can let them know, say, hey, I'm going to go in 3, 2, 1, and go. If your teammates are around, they can take advantage out of that thing, trying to gain position or maintain their position. The other thing is that if you have a teammate on the radio with you, you can just play around with strategy. Hey, when are you pitting? When am I pitting? The whole thing. So it's always, and we have another caution.
We have another. Who is it this time? Let's see.
Look at the 41 of Nathan Miller. 41 of Nathan Miller coming out of turn number 3.
Okay, so the 41 of Nathan Miller is going to make our logistics in motion. Somebody ran out of time. And what was that number again?
41.
It's going to be Nate Miller. Let's take a look at Nate and see what happened here. So we're watching number 41. He's coming out of the oval here as he's going into turn 3. And he gets a little bit loose. He's holding it. Oh, he's drifting. Almost. He had that thing almost 90 degrees, but he didn't appear to take any damage at all. He just spun himself out, as you can see there. Lost a little pride, probably. He's going to lose a couple positions. But the important thing is he did not damage that race car. and he'll be able to come back from that. There's plenty more laps to go. There's 37 laps left, and right now that number 41 car of Nate Miller, he is going to continue on in this race. So good for him, no damage, and we are looking forward to seeing him move back up through the field. He is a pretty fast driver.
And the moment that everybody comes to pit road, with the exception of Aaron Berge, Aaron stay out, everybody else coming for another pit stop. Let's see who wins the race out of the pits this time. If anybody's going to gamble taking only 2 tires, everybody's going to go for 4 tires and a full tank of fuel.
Absolutely, there, Luis. Do you want to get Berg in the booth here to see if maybe he's doing any sort of strategy by staying out?
I'll go check if he can jump with us here in a little bit.
So while Luis is trying to see if Aaron Berg is available here, we are, again, the Elite Championship Racing League. This is the A Cup Series, their top series that they put on here. It is presented by Logistics in Motion. That is their sponsor. And they race every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern. If you need more information on the league, please go to their website, www.ecrleague.com, which is also scrolling along the bottom of the screen there. And you can find out more about all 3 series that ECRL does sponsor, that they do put on. So it's there for all types of talent. You can work your way up from the trucks to the Cup Series, or if you just like the trucks more or the Xfinity Series more, you'll be free to race whatever series you want to race there. And you can find out more information at the league website that's scrolling down bottom there.
Jeff, they're ready to go green about a lap, so we'll bring Aaron down the next caution. We can ask him later if the decision was purely strategy or if something happened there that he couldn't make it to pit road. But we'll mark this down the next caution that we have. We'll bring him down and ask him directly.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we're riding along with Aaron Berg. He is behind the pace car, and he is our race leader right now. Our top 5 would be Berg in first, Lattimore second, Fitchner third, Tucker 4th, and Bohr in 5th. That's our current top 5. We are at lap 41 of 175 laps here in Phoenix. For those of you who may just be joining us, the track temperature today is 107 degrees. So these guys have their hands full. With as powerful as these cars are, and with the track as slick as it is, these guys are making it look easy. But these cars are definitely a handful on tracks this high. The pace car lights are out. We're about to go green. So let's watch once again as Aaron Berg this time takes us to the stripe. Pace cars off. Aaron Berg leads them into turn 1. Ahead of the 08 of Thomas Lattimore. The 14's looking low, but thinks better of it and checks up. It looks
Lattimore had an awesome pit stop. He beat Dalton Tucker on the exit, and now he's going outside trying to take the position from Aaron Berg. They're almost going 3 wide going into the front stretch.
Absolutely. Looks like Aaron Berg is going to lead his first lap of the race, and that will be the first, I believe, the first leader that we've had other than Dalton Tucker this race. They are paired up right now. 4 going into turns 3 and 4. Looks like the number 87 to Fitchner is trying to give the number 8 a little bit of a push there.
Oh, we have a big crash!
We have a big crash. It looks like it was that the number 25? It looks like it may have been the 25, so we'll go ahead and take another look at that and get that out for you. Once again, this is the Logistics in Motion and we'll take a look and see if that was the number 25 Collins. I believe it was.
Started with the number 44 of Joey Stats coming out of turn number 3, I'm sorry. He was side by side with Chris Collins. He tapped the wall on the outside, came back into the turn, and just shoved the 25 towards the inside wall, and then everybody that was coming around took a piece of that thing.
Oh wow. Let's see if we can, I'm looking for that instant replay there. Alright, well I can't currently find it, but once again, like Luis said, that number 25 did get into, what did it exactly do, Luis?
The 44 and the 25, they came into the front stretch side by side. The 44 tapped the wall on the outside. Once he did that, he came back a little bit towards the inside part of the track. The 25 of Chris Collins was there. They touched the 24, just shoot to the inside, hit the wall, and then there were a bunch of other cars coming towards that outside, just trying to keep their lane. The 68 of Rob Haynes, the 92 was also involved, took a piece of that thing of Chris Steele. There were some other guys that took a piece out of that thing. I think the 41 of Nathan Miller, trying to avoid that. He also hit the 44, trying to check up, couldn't do it in time. So a lot of cars damage out of that one.
Yeah, well, that's going to probably shake up things quite a bit here. Tell me, Luis, when you're having a lot of cautions like these and you have a particular strategy in mind prior to the race, how does that affect you mentally as you're going through the race there, and the things that you were preparing for just got switched up on you all in a sudden? How do you decide on how you're going to change your strategy? Is it become more a fuel strategy now? Does it become more expecting cautions to come out, so you're going to short pit more? How do you deal with it, Luis?
It all depends on who you're racing against. In a league that races every week together, so you kind of know who is a little bit more aggressive here, who likes to stay out, who likes to play the fuel game more than other guys. So you need to be aware of that thing, but it also depends on the track. If you are on a track that is hard to pass, where the setup's really tight or really loose, and you know that guys are only going to get by you unless you make a mistake, positioning on the track becomes really important. So if you are up front and you have a race with a lot of cautions, chances are you're going to try to maintain that position a lot more than tracks like a super speedway that you can pass for a mile and a half, that you know that you can take advantage of fresh tires and come from behind, because guys are not going to be able to keep the line that you can, so you can drive around. So here in a place like Phoenix, where apparently the restarts are being very important, that you can try to keep your track position, especially if you are on the same pit cycle that other drivers. If you guys have the same rubber, if you're on fresh tires, if you're on used tires, and everybody's kind of following your lead, that is a good thing. The problem is later down on the race, when you have a caution with 10 to go, with 20 to go, and you've been on the track for a long period of time and you have worn tires, what do? It all depends on how comfortable you are with the setup, with the car at the moment, with the track, and basically gambling. Should I stay out, keep my mind on the car, and just think that I can control the car, hopefully for a crash? Or you say, you know what, I'm not going to gamble. If someone else stays out, I'm going to come out of the pits with fresh rubber, and I'm going to drive as fast as I can. So it depends on the driver, depends on their driving style. And you never know. You never know what you can do. So I believe the pace car is already on turn number 3. We're about to go green once again with Thomas Lattimore leading the field coming to the restart.
Thank you for the insight there, Luis. That was Luis telling you exactly what goes on in his mind during times like that. And looks like the number 8 of Thomas Lattimore is going to lead him into turn 1 and 2. Oh, that number. Oh, Thitchner hit the wall hard. We're going to have another caution here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one. That was the number 87 of Thitchner. I think he was driving in 4th at the time. Let's go ahead and see exactly how that happened. So you'll see that blue number 87 up there. Let's see what happened there. As
he got loose coming out of turn number 2, turn number 1, he was all the way outside trying to get a little bit of a clear lane coming out of the turn number 1, just trying to maximize the speed. Got let a little bit loose, and once you get loose, that small little twitch that you can do to try to correct the line just to keep the car going one straight, sometimes that thing creates a whipple effect that you just clip the wheel a little bit towards the other side just to try to bring the car down, and the car will snap towards the other direction. That's what happened to him. He hit the wall and then got loose again, hit the wall again. So I don't think he's going to be very happy with what happened over there. Just a small little correction that turned his race completely upside down.
Yeah, the fans were just able to see that replay as you were talking there, and they saw exactly what happened there. But yeah, that's too bad. Fitchner is definitely one of the faster drivers in the league, and he's always up front. We'll see if he took too much damage here to continue on, or if he's going to be able to repair that in a relatively short time and be back out on the track and be competitive. But he is still out on the track right now, so we'll see. We'll see if he can make it back to the front. Damage-wise, it looks like he's got quite a bit of damage on the passenger side. We're watching him come in right now into the pits, and we'll see if he lifts up the right side for 2, the left side for 2, and see if he just drives off, or if he's going to have to do a little bit of repairs.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have some repairs to do to that car.
Yeah.
Maybe something cosmetic, like Scott told us when he wrecked. He also hit the wall very hard on the inside, and when he did it, he said that his car only took about 30 seconds worth of damage.
Okay.
So if Anthony's lucky like Scott was, that might be what he's looking at right now. Doesn't seem to be affected his engine. We didn't see any smoke coming out of the car, so that's always a good thing. There's no smoke coming out of the car. That is a good thing, that it may be only mechanical, no engine damage or anything like that.
Yeah, I watched him there. He obviously took all 4. He's going to be making some repairs here. With this short track here, if you have a whole lot of repairs, you can find yourself down quite a bit. But hopefully that's not the case for him. As we watch the cars rolling off of pit lane now, coming by. Once again, this is the ECRL Cup Series at Phoenix, sponsored by Logistics in Motion.
Jeff, you asked me early before when having a teammate will come into play in a short track like this. This is a perfect example. Thomas Lattimore is now leading the race, and he's Anthony's teammate, so he can tell Anthony exactly, oh, are you in the pits? All right, we're just entering turn number 3. I'll let you know when it's safe for you to get out, so you can maximize your repair as much as possible and not lose a lap. So this is another thing that they can do, and they can help each other on the track.
Absolutely. Now, the lights are off on the pace car, and we will have 1 to go. Pace car is off, and that number 8, Thomas Lattimore, is going to lead them to the stripe. Thomas Lattimore leads them to the stripe. It looked like almost like number 14 of Dalton Tucker almost tried to do a crossover there. Number 8 stays low as the 14 comes out. That's number 2, and falls in line with number 8.
Dalton was very smart. He waited until the moment where they cross the start-finish line. Until that point, they cannot change lanes, so he had to wait until that point. The moment that they crossed the start-finish line, he dove to the inside, trying to block the move that Aaron Berger was trying to pull on him to try to get the second place. So very smart of Dalton, just taking advantage of the rules, following to the line. And the moment he could, he jumped to the inside of the next.
Yeah, these guys, along with being fast, they also have to use a little bit of smarts there. Just like you alluded to there, Dalton's a very smart driver. So when you pair up a smart driver with speed, they're very hard to beat. And he is one of our top drivers here at the ECRL League.
We're starting to see a couple of guys that started mid-pack or even back on the back of the pack. They have up until this moment, they kept their car clean and they're starting to make a push towards those top 5 positions. One of those drivers is the driver of the number 92, Chris Steele. He started in the 11th position. He's already driving towards the top 5. He's in 5th right now, and he's bringing along a couple of other guys like Rob Burns driving the car number 12. Jai Hedrick, they had a problem early in the race, but fixed his car and is already back in 7th. And they're also bringing Tony DeGennaro, now driving in 8th place. He's driving the number 18 M&M car. So they're making their way towards this field, and everybody else is crashing, making mistakes. They're keeping their cars clean, and they're already battling, who knows, for a top 5 in the race.
Absolutely. The number 14 of Dalton Tucker was pushing the 8 car heavily. He looks like he wants to retake that lead from Lattimore. So we'll see if he's going to jump to the inside here coming into 3 and 4, or if he's just going to go ahead and ride behind for a little bit. Let's jump on board with that Dalton Tucker and just see what he's seeing from his. So right now we're riding along with the 14 car Dalton Tucker. You can see him going around 1 and 2 here, and how close he gets up to the 08. But we're going to go ahead and follow him around right now, just so the fans can see what it looks like from the driver's point of view, somewhat to the outside. As you can see, the number 8 car got a little bit loose there. Let's see if Tucker can go ahead and take advantage.
Jeff, and you can see how easy on the throttle Dalton has to be, not only when he's going into the brake, but just coming back. He has to be very careful putting the power down. The track is very slick, so he needs to be very cautious, maintaining the throttle at a certain point, not letting the car slip way too much, just trying to hug that yellow line on the inside and then pushing the car all the way to the outside wall, trying to get as much out of the car on the exit as he can. But you can see how difficult it is to pass here. It's very hard unless the car in front of you makes a little mistake. The only option that you can is if you get a really good turn out of turn either 1 or 3, and you get side by side on the exit of the turn, especially on the exit of turn number 1, that you can cut the dog leg and just jump to the inside, trying to outbrake the other car going into 3. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult. They need to be very patient and really work on getting a little bit by little bit on every lap.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see here in the in-car view of Dalton how hard he's working to make up any ground with that number 8. But like we alluded to earlier, Dalton is a smart driver, and he's not going to press the issue. He knows that there's over 100 laps to go, and that eventually possibly the number 8 will make a mistake and he'll be able to capitalize on it. But for right now, it looks like the number 14 of Dalton Tucker is happy for the moment, just riding behind the 08. But no doubt about it, if the 08 makes a mistake, Dalton Tucker will be there to go ahead and take that lead from him.
It looks like they're driving a little bit of different lines. Dalton comes in and out of the turns with a little bit of a shallow angle, while Thomas goes into the turn and comes out a little bit wider. So that also is going to limit what Dalton can do, because he can only drive the car up to a certain point, because he needs to be aware of the line that Thomas is doing. So, but I think he's going to try now a little bit on the outside. He's jumping to the inside.
Yeah, he's on the inside now. Let's see if he's going to be able to push through, make that low line work coming out. I'm going to guess that the number 8 should get the jump on him still. And he does. He does lead him to the stripe there. But again, that 14, he's starting to push the 08 a little bit. How much does that play into 8's mind when he's seeing that 14 in his rearview mirror?
Especially now that he knows that Dalton's willing to put the car on the inside, especially on that log leg, he needs to be aware that at any given moment, he's going to see that Y4 just on the inside, and he's going to have to be prepared to either outbrake him and go on the line, trying to do the entire turn on the outside like he did coming out of the turn with more speed and getting the advantage back on the next straight, or depending on where he is, just let him go, not risk your car, live to fight another day.
Yeah, absolutely. And while the number 8 and 14 were battling it out, that number 15 car, I believe it's Brad Borer, that number 15 of Brad Borer, he did make up some ground, and number 14 is fine. That number 15 is almost on his back bumper. So we could have a three-way race here as the 15 dives down a little bit low to make up a little more ground. So looks like the class of the field at the moment is your number 8 Lattimore, 14 Tucker, and 15 Brad Borer, and then there's a little bit of space behind them to get back to 4th place position. But
they're already almost 2 seconds ahead of Aaron Berge, who's now 4th. He's still on the track with a little bit older tires than the guys in front of him, but he's keeping that 4th position. He has a second of advantage to Rob Burns, who's now in 5th.
Yeah, they're a little bit further back there. I don't know how much of that is because they're just laying back a little bit, hoping that the 8, 14, and 15 burn off their tires. Some drivers are good short run drivers, and some drivers, they like to make up their time in the middle of the run, and some are even in the back of the run. So that could be what's going on right now, why there's a little bit of a gap. The 4th, 5th, and 6th, as we're going by lap traffic right here, the number 82. But that's maybe the strategy that some of them are using is hope that the leaders burn up their tires and they can maybe catch them later on in the run.
Yeah, Jeff, talking about strategy, because he was out on the track longer than anybody else, Aaron Berge just dove to the pits. He is now making his 3rd pit stop of the race. So he's falling back, probably going to lose a lap to the leaders, but he was out on the track longer than anybody else, probably had a lot less fuel than all the other cars. So he's going to be the one car on a different pit cycle than everybody else.
Yeah, and that can play out one of two ways. Either you'll find yourself stuck that lap down, or on those long flag, depending on where he's going to fall close to the 175, it may work out well for him to where he doesn't have to pit, and maybe that strategy will work out.
Yeah, and he comes out of the pits with fresher rubber, so when everybody else stayed out, he's going to be probably the fastest car on the track right now with fresher tires, so he can make a lot of time, gain a lot of ground back on everybody else.
Yeah, you're right. And he's going to feel like Superman with those 4 new Goodyear rubber tires on. As far as etiquette here in the ECRL, do the drivers usually give way to drivers with fresh tires, or is it, if you can pass me, pass me. If you can't, well, so be it.
I'm going to say yes, or yes and no. You are going to see guys that they know that someone else with fresher tires is coming. And you know what? I'm not going to race you for the thing. You for faster, just go. But you have those guys that technically racing rules just say, I'm in front of you. I don't need to give you way. So you have fresher tires. You need to be able to come by me without me having to move from my lane. So that's where being a little bit courteous, a little bit polite on the track, it always comes into play, because if you are one of those guys that drives always like safely, never put the other guy in danger, if makes a mistake, apologizes, that whole thing, guys are going to cut you a little bit of a break when you're coming on fresher tires. And Jeff, I think we have a car on the wall on the front stretch.
Car on the wall on the front stretch. Did you catch a number on?
31, if I'm not mistaken, of Doug Hess.
31 of Doug Hess. So the 31 of Doug Hess is going to make our logistics in motion. Somebody ran out of time. So let's go ahead and take a look. He must have got a little bit of damage there. Yeah, he
took a big lick towards the inside wall. He actually flipped it a couple times, and I think his engine just expired, because the moment he hit the second time, we saw a lot of smoke coming out, and he immediately brought his car back to the pits. So chances are that engine is no good for the rest of the race.
We're riding along with Hess right now, and again, yep, you see him get loose there coming out of 4, and he smashes into that inside wall, and you can see the damage on that car. So yeah, too bad for the number 31 of Hess. He's going to have a little bit of repairs that he's going to have to deal with there, and that probably ends his night as far as a possible victor.
Yeah, one guy that must be smiling right now is Aaron Berge. He just made his pit stop a couple laps ago, and now you see a caution, so he can take the wave around with other guys and come back into contention, and pretty much come back to the same pit cycle with just a couple laps short. So the thing that he did, gambling a little bit the last time, he's not going to have a problem.
Absolutely. Right now I'm showing the number 24 of Jeremy Rubin in the lead. He is our current leader. We'll see if that changes. Yeah, he stayed out. I'm not showing any pit stop for him currently. He's on 25 lap tires, so I don't know if maybe he's trying to get a point for leading the lap and he's going to pull in right here, or if he's just on some other strategy that we don't know about. But it looks like by his trajectory here, he's going to be going into the pits. Looks like he was just trying to lead a lap.
We'll see. There's still some time. Let's see if he pulls out of the pits. No, he's going to the pits.
Yeah, he's going in. So Mr. Rubin's going to go in. So that is going to cycle Thomas Lattimore as our leader.
Yeah, he brought Aaron Berge with him. So Aaron, even though he had the opportunity to get that lap back, he decided, you know what, I'm going to go back into the same field. I'm going to get fresh tires, go back and try to get that lap later. Still pretty early, only 78 left. There's still almost 100 laps to go. And Jeff, one curious thing that we have to say, this is Jeremy Rubin's last race this season with ECR. Jeremy's a member of our armed forces. So we learned a couple of weeks ago that he's going to get deployed and he's moving to South Korea to continue his service during the next year. So this is his last race this season with us. He's going to keep in contact with us, keep helping us out as much as he can. Jeremy's one of those class act guys. And during the race, we're probably going to bring him up here. He wanted to say a couple of things to everybody watching races at ECR. So during the next couple of cautions, I might just pull Jeremy down here so we can talk.
Yeah, definitely. We want to go ahead and talk to Jeremy there. And again, he's a service member there. And of course, ECRL supports all our troops and even one of our very own, Jeremy. So right now I'm showing Dalton Tucker as the leader of the race in a familiar spot. I believe he must have got a little bit of a better pit stop than Thomas Lattimore there. I'm showing Tucker had a 12.4 second pit stop and Lattimore had a 13.3, so almost a second difference there. Tell us, Luis, how much of a difference does a second make in the pits?
Oh, it makes a ton. It's the amount of time that it takes for the front tire changer to tighten up 3 lug nuts. So that's a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like the pace car is off now, so we're going to watch number 14 lead them to the stripe once again in a familiar spot. Our leader, Dalton Tucker there, he is going to beat everyone to turn 1 and 2, and we'll see how this plays out.
Look at Brad Bora going to the inside of Thomas, trying to get second away.
Oh, yeah, and he cuts below that yellow line, which is legal. And absolutely looks like he's going to get in front of Thomas Lattimore. And let's see now that the number 15's got fresh tires. Oh, he closed the distance pretty fast. Number 8 had to check up a little bit. Let's see if the number 15 of Brad Bora can go ahead and close the distance on Mr. Tucker there. We saw earlier in the race where the 15 was a little bit back and the 14 and 8 were battling out, and he was able to make up some ground. Let's see with some of this free air if he can make any noises. Oh, we got a caution.
Jeff, I think you were on replay.
Oh, yep, you're right.
Take a look at it.
Excellent. It's always good to have somebody else in the booth there. That was some ghost commentary there. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the caution involved the 92, the FedEx Toyota of Chris. He came loose on the infield of turn number 2, trying to cut the dog. Lost a little bit of control, hit the inside wall, hit it with the back part of the car, so no damage to his engine. So he should be good to go. Doesn't seem to be with a lot of damage on the 92.
Absolutely. Here we are at lap 81 in Phoenix International Speedway, where we are sponsored by Logistics in Motion. This is the ECR League Cup Series, and right now we're going to go ahead and cut to a commercial break and give the broadcasters a little bit of a breather, and we'll be back shortly. All right, as the pace car takes him around turn 3 and 4, we are about to go green again. Your race leader is Dalton Tucker, and he once again is going to lead us to the stripe. A little bit of checking up happened, but they did get through it this time.
A really good move by Jerome Gustin on that 43 machine, avoiding contact, jumping to the inside, avoiding contact. Everybody good to go. Let's go racing.
All right, we follow him around the track here. Again, our top 3 is the 14. Oh, something must have happened to the 14, and he slowed down. And number 8 gained ground very, very, very quickly. Let's see if number 8 is going to go ahead and push the issue here, or if he's going to be content just to ride behind for a little while.
Jeff, we had a car coming around on turn number 3. Was the 18 of Tony DeGennaro. He lost control, didn't hit anything. Was parked on the outside of the track, so that's why we didn't see a caution. He spun around, and he's back on the track.
Absolutely. Let's just go take a real quick look at what did happen there with that 18. Yeah, we're looking at it right now. It looked like he just got a little bit loose. The 43 was able to just miss him, and like you said, he didn't hit anything. He didn't bring out a caution, and he was able to get that number 18 M&M's car going again. So back to live action.
Just a small hit on his pride over there, but he did a really good job avoiding a hit on the outside wall. That was some really badass driving by Tony.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we have another caution.
Uh-oh. Who was it this time? What number? It looks like the 69 or 59? What was it?
Trying to find it.
Again, the logistics in motion. Somebody ran out of town.
Oh, no, the 24 of Jeremy Rubin.
It was the 24 of Jeremy Rubin. Okay.
Yeah, he got together with Jerome on the front stretch. We were just talking about him, that he was able to avoid the restart, the check.
Yeah, we're watching it right now. Yeah, it looks like he turned down a little bit in front of the 43, and he just got spun and then the 59 barreled into the 24. Wow, let's go ahead and get that up there for viewers there. Take a look at.
And after that, the 69 of David Borden, he also coming on the front stretch, he got a piece of the 24.
Yeah, absolutely. They're watching it right now. It looks like the 24 came down a little bit, and that 45 turned him. Then the 59, like you said, came barreling in and hit him. So a lot of damage on those cars. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it. That's a 69. I'm sorry, not the 59, the 69.
Jeff, speaking about Jeremy Rubin, we have Jeremy with us here in the booth. Let's just ask him exactly what happened on his point of view. Jeremy, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, we spoke a little bit during our break that we wanted to give you a little bit of airtime, talk to you a little bit, but I promise you it was not under these circumstances. So, but tell us what happened over there. Was just racing thing you guys ran out of space?
No, on that restart, I had quite a bit of damage on, well, someone didn't go, and then they went, and then they stopped again. I got a little bit of damage on my hood. It popped it up, so I had a little bit limited visibility. And it looked like I was getting closer to the wall, so I was just kind of inching away from the wall, and the 43 just kind of, he was just racing, and I think I just kind of turned into him a little bit.
Well, that's it. We saw a lot of problems during restarts. We saw a lot of guys checking up. That is normal here in Phoenix. We know that that's something that happens from time to time. So we talked a little bit about, before you joined the booth, about the great service that you do for our country. You said that you wanted to give everybody a little message on this being your last race for a while here at ECR. So we just wanted to give you the ground, the spotlight, the microphone is yours. Please go ahead. You're just confirm to everybody, you are going to be deployed to South Korea, correct?
Yes, sir. And just want to start off, that's not the way I wanted to end my run here at ECR. The whole race, I kind of had problems with, not problems, but I had incidents where I wasn't at fault, and ended up with 14x there to finish off my ECR. But yeah, I'm headed to it's Camp Humphrey, South Korea. I'll be there for a year, so when I get back, we'll see what happens with racing, I'm probably gonna leave my wheel at home just so I can focus on traveling and having a little bit of fun in a country I'll never be able to go to again. So. But yeah, anybody who's looking for a league, these guys are awesome. It's the best league out in iRacing. I can't say how much I hate not being able to be here for the rest of the season.
Well, but we know where you're gonna be. You know where we're gonna be, and you know that your place is always gonna be here. I believe not only for myself, but for Jeff and everybody watching at home and everybody who is a part of ECR. We can never say thank you enough for what you do, not only for us, but for the entire country, for the entire world. We have people from all over the globe joining this. So it's always amazing to have someone who put his life on the line for us. It's always something that we can never say that enough. Pretty sure you're going to have an awesome time. Please be safe. Take care of yourself. And we're gonna see you back here to race with us again one more time.
Oh yes, sir. And I'll be joining in the booth, or not in the booth, but on YouTube, and I'll be saying hi every once in a while. I'll still have my laptop, so I'll be able to get on Discord.
10-4, but
they'll be able to be a little bit in it.
I bet
I
you will.
I can't take myself fully out. Love ECR too much.
Oh, we thank you again. As these guys go back to racing, back to green flag. Thank you again for jumping on the booth with us. Have safe travels, and we hope to hear from you as soon as we can.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
good
Jeremy.
one, Bub.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jeff, for all you do.
Yes, sir. All right, we are green flag racing. This is lap 93, where number 14, Dalton Tucker, leads the field to the stripe. And going on to the backstretch there, where you have the 8 and the 15 and the 41 battling out for second place. They're getting a little bit tighter back there. We didn't actually see the very restart here. 14 did get a pretty decent jump apparently, but it's pretty tight behind him with second through fifth all stacked up.
We have Brad Bohr, Aaron Berge, Nathan Miller coming back from that spin, and the 0-8 of Thomas Lattimore. They're almost side by side. Almost contact.
Lattimore has door-to-door action there. It looks like he was able to hold it up. He's going to lose a few positions, but it doesn't look like he took much damage, and he was able to collect it, and we're still here at green flag racing.
Yeah, I think that might have been a net code between the two cars, because it doesn't seem that they touched. So if Thomas had a little bit of an incident, that might have been net code on the part of the service.
Yeah, a net code for all you guys viewing out there. If you don't know that's this is a racing simulation. We try to say it's not a game. It's a very good simulator of stock car racing. And what happens is it is the internet. So sometimes the car space it'll think that you're touching the other car when you're really not, and what we call that is of course netcode errors. So sometimes some of the contact that happens between the drivers, neither driver will actually. We have a caution. Who is it? The number 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at the number 3 and see who made the logistics in motion. Somebody. So let's go ahead and see exactly what happened. Winding the tape now.
Coming out of turn 1. The number 3 on Mike Montez, he just got loose on the outside, tried to save it, got a little bit of the wall on the outside, but
absolutely
self-spin.
The viewers are seeing it right now as he's going into 1. He just starts to slide. Doesn't look like he hit anything very hard, maybe the wall just a tad bit. Nobody collected him, so this is one of those times where I think he's going to be able to continue.
It just gave the outside wall a little kiss.
Just a little kiss there.
Hasn't visited the wall yet the race, so just went by, said a little hi, please don't be jealous, I'll come back, and that whole little thing.
Absolutely. Just a little damaged pride, and of course it's always fantastic for the family and friends and fellow drivers after the race to see who actually did make the somebody ran out of talent replay. But that's just poking a little fun there. These drivers are awesome. The average person cannot even drive these cars. So again, we may be poking a little bit here, but it takes real talent to drive these cars. Wouldn't you say, Luis?
Oh, absolutely. And it takes hours and hours and hours of practice. So you can pretty much wheel this thing, especially in a place like Phoenix. And Jeff, we may be starting to see a little bit of. We had a couple of guys that stayed out and a lot of guys coming into the pit. So the 14 of Dalton Tucker, the 15 of Brad Board, the 86 of Josh Conover, and the 08 of Thomas Lattimore, they opted to stay out together with some other. Most of the other guys came to the pits to get fresh tires, to get fuel. So approaching lap 100, and we said that at the beginning of the broadcast, that this is that time on the race that we're going to start seeing who's playing the fuel strategy, who's playing conservative, trying to keep track position. And now, with this different in pit cycles, we may start to see guys opting to stay out longer, play fuel strategy, trying to get to the end with only one more stop.
Yeah, and that's also with the different tire strategies at hand here. You're going to see a lot more drivers off the pace. So there could be a few more cautions here with guys on good tires, guys on bad tires. And, of course, you have your different fuel strategies, guys coming in a little bit earlier than others. It's going to get pretty crazy here. Right now I'm showing that Dalton Tucker, our current race leader, has 24 laps on his tires. And then second, third, and fourth, Abora, Conover, and Lattimore, they all three have 11 laps. But they chose to stay out instead of going back. I don't think they wanted to fight through the traffic there, and a lot of that's because they don't want to have the possibility of someone crashing in front of them.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what's going to be the approach now on these restarts. We saw a couple restarts where guys were very combative, really going after, trying to get positions. And then we saw some restarts where they just took it easy. No one wanted to risk anything yet. It was still early. Now with 75 laps to go, I can bet that we're going to start seeing a lot of guys diving towards the inside to that dog leg after getting out of turn number one, really being aggressive, trying to get positioning, trying to outbrake guys going into turn number 3.
I'm very interested in seeing what the number 87, Anthony Thitchner, is going to do here on this restart. He only has 3 laps on his tires compared to the other top 4 that have 25 and 12. So we're going to see is he going to try to make a big push right at the start, or is he going to let it play out a little bit and then pick them off one by one. I'm really interested in seeing how.
My money is that we're going to see Anthony on that apron as soon as he can.
Pace car's off, and we're about to find out. Dalton didn't get a very large jump, so we'll see if Anthony's going to be able to take these cars pretty easy. With there's a big difference of 9 laps in between him and the 3 cars in front of him, and obviously Dalton with number 14, he's got 26 laps, so I'm expecting him to lose his first place spot here probably before we get around to stripe a second time. We'll see.
And we were talking about Anthony, another guy that just took 4 tires. Nathan Miller on the number 41 is right behind him, so he's bringing the 41 with him. We're probably going to need to take a quick, close look on those 2 guys as they try to go away and pass the 86 of Josh Conover. Both guys driving to the inside.
Both went down, yeah. Both went down there, the 41 and the 87. Looks like the 87's going to pick off the 86, and 41's following in right behind him. So kind of like a fullback in a football game. He's going to be letting that running back 41 come right up through. Looks like both of them are going to go ahead and clear that number 86.
That's very smart from Nate. He's just following along with everything that Anthony's doing. So Anthony's doing the hard work trying to move these guys out of the way. He's just following the slipstream of the 87. Wherever the 87 goes, whenever Anthony put his car, he just needs to follow along, follow the same line, and chances are he's going to be right in the position to also try to take the position away.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and ride along with number 87 and see if he's going to go ahead and be able to make this pass on Lattimore here. So we'll ride along through the dog leg right now, going into turn 3 and 4. It almost looks like Thitchner is just content to ride along for a little while, knowing full well that these guys' tires aren't nearly as good. He'll have a little bit of an easier time maybe in a couple laps.
Yeah, but he cannot let the 41 get by him because Nathan has even fresher tires because he just stopped. So if he let the 41 by him, then he's going to have a lot of problems because that 41 can wield that car and he's not going to be an easy guy to move around and try to pass.
Yeah, it looks like that damage that he sustained a little bit earlier isn't having any impact at all. For the viewers out there, once again, we are riding alongside of the 87 of Anthony Fitchner as he is trying to pass the number 8 Thomas Lattimore. You're currently looking at 4th position right now.
Look at Nathan driving to the inside of the 87. Let's see if he can outbrake him.
Again, right now we're riding along with Nate Miller. Let's see, is he going to be able to make the pass? Oh, it looks like Anthony was able to stay in front of him. Let's go ahead and watch this play out. We're watching this from the 41's view, where the custom camera packs were made by myself, the Ford Entertainment Group. Again, if you need any broadcasting of your leagues, feel free to email me. The email is in the description at the bottom of the YouTube channel. It looks like 87 got a little loose there.
Wow.
Coming off of 4.
That was very, very close.
That was very close.
And Jeff, one guy that is loving this is the 08 of Thomas Lattimore, because a couple of laps ago, he had a mirror full of the 87 and the 41. And now that these guys are battling at every turn, Thomas can just drive his line and pull away, and he is opening a little bit of a gap towards these guys that already have half a second in front of the 87.
Absolutely. Looks like number 41 may be able to stick his nose down here.
Oh, there he goes.
Let's see. Is he going to be able to do it?
Yeah, he cleared him. He's fine.
He cleared him. Let's see if there's going to be a crossover of sorts now. I tell you what is very telling is Dalton Tucker on 34 lap tires. He is making it work. That's kind of scary for the rest of the field.
Yeah, Dalton's pushing the envelope, trying to go as far as he can during this run, trying to use every ounce of fuel that he has, knowing, like you said, that the tires are not that big of an issue. Right now, he's been able to put Brad Board to keep him at bay, keep him behind him. If things continue to go like this, he can pit only one more time and save that lead.
Yeah. They roughly went their last caution, I believe, around lap 100, if I'm not correct.
100, 101, something like that.
I'm guessing that a lot of the guys. Oh, the number 15, he got a little bit loose there. It looked like, or maybe he just went down there on purpose. I think he did.
Oh no, he got loose. He got loose coming out of 2.
From the camera view I was using right there, I wasn't quite sure if he got loose or if he was just dipping real low. But he didn't seem to lose too much time there. But again, I'm really impressed with the way the number 14 is able to drive this car on 37 lap tires. Just in comparison, his last lap time was faster than everyone's else's, and he's on way older tires. So quite impressive.
Well, you asked Jeff what it makes the guys that go fast in this place. How is it that they can keep their thing and still be fast? We said it. If you can drive your race, not worrying about who's behind, who's around you, just keep control of your race, your car, your tires, chances are you're going to be really fast. That's exactly what we are seeing with Dalton. Even on older tires, he knows how his car is behaving. He understands how to keep the car on the right portion of the track, keeping the good line, trying to block without blocking, just keeping the car on a straight line, not doing anything spectacular, not driving very aggressive, just doing his thing. He's being able to keep in front of the 15.
Yeah, that number 15, he has his hands full trying to get around number 14 there with the speed and the intelligence that he has. But I don't know. I'm impressed so far with the 14's ability to stay out in front. I'm just wondering how it's going to be a little bit further into the run. My guess now is that these guys, the majority of the guys, are probably going to go in around lap 35, lap 36. That's what my guess is, if they're going to split the laps remaining in half from the last time they went in. I think most guys, that's what they do. If they know they have to take one more pit stop, they'll go ahead and divide the laps in half, the remaining laps in half. But that's the majority. Not everyone's going to do it that same way. I'm interested, Luis, how would you be playing it right now if lap 100 came out? When would you be going in?
I would try to stretch as much as I can the fuel run right now. If assuming that we're going green, I would try to take as much out of this run, out of this fuel run that I can, because that will leave me with less amount of laps towards the end. So I don't have, if I can pit absolutely sure that I'm not going to have to worry about fuel from that point on to the rest of the race, then it's just track position. I can play around with track position. I can play around who's around me and just decide, you know what? Guys are extremely faster than me right now. I need tires. So you can make that call with a lot more at ease, not having to worry about fuel. As we see the number 15 O'Brien now trying to take the 14 out, going into the turn. Dalton keeps his position as Red Bull tried to dive in to take the lead.
Yeah, he's able to hang on there with those tires. It's just really impressive what he's doing right now. For viewers,
behind them,
go ahead.
41 cleared the 08 of Thomas. So Nate Miller with those fresher tires than everybody else, he's already up to third.
Yeah, that fresh rubber really does make a difference there. Let's take a look at the 87 of Thitchner. Where did he drop back to? Oh, he's currently in 6th right now. He did have only 3-lap old tires at the beginning of this. I thought that he was going to go to the front. I don't know if maybe he's just playing possum right now, or if he's trying to stretch the tires a little bit, or if he believes there's just going to be another caution, so there's no real reason to get racy this early, because we still do have 55 laps left. It's still a little bit of time to get back up there.
We have a long way to go, and we never know. He was fighting with Nate pretty hard, so we never know if he may end up burning his tires a lot more than what he wanted, and just waiting right now, waiting for that heat cider to go through the tires, see if he can get a long life out of the rubber.
Yeah. Looking back a little bit, 9th to 12th place, there's quite a battle going on. They're stacked up pretty good. They just got back in line, but there's more than one race going on. These guys right here, they'll start trying to get ahead of each other here shortly, and then make their way to the front there. It is almost go time. 50 laps left, but I think a lot of guys are going to start positioning themselves for that big push there with the last 15, 20 laps to go.
Yeah, we see on that middle a lot of guys with laps down trying to get back into the race. But we see on that 10th position, one of the bigger movers out of the race so far. He started up in the 22nd positions, now up to 10th. Mark Figueroa in the 00 Ford. It's another member of our armed forces. He's a member of the National Guard. And you can see that very clear on his paint scheme.
Yeah,
Mark
we're looking at that right now. And so, he's getting a little bit loose there. The number 3. Oh, caution's out. Looks like that.
And we have a caution.
We were right on Figueroa there. He may have gave the 3 a little tug, but we'll go ahead and take a look at that and see who's going to once again make the logistics in motion. Somebody right now. So we'll take a look at that here in a second. I'm going to pull that up for you guys.
Oh, they definitely got together. There was a little love tap over there.
Yeah. So we're riding on board right now with that number 3 car, and let's see how much of a love tap he gets there from that 00, which we were just talking about Figueroa there. Again, none of these guys do any of this on purpose, but sometimes a little bit. It looks like the 3 got a little loose, and the speed change there allowed for him to get hit in the rear end there, but not a lot of damage there. Didn't look like he should be able to recover from that. So. Let's hope Mr. Montesi is able to get back out there, and he is. So he's still going.
And Jeff, strategy. Dalton Tucker, Nathan Miller, Josh Conover. They were 3 of our top 5 at the moment. They all dove to the pits when the caution came out. Brad Board, Thomas Lattimore, Anthony Titchner, Rob Burns, Jerome Gustin, and Scott Hussinger, together with Mark Figueroa, they all stayed out. Oh, they're now making their pit stops.
Yeah, they're making their pit stops right now. As we're taking a look at them right now. Looks like Fitchner may beat him off.
Oh, you know what happened? They were on the pits the moment the pace car came around. The caution came out. So they were able to time it perfectly, make their pits before everybody else. Everybody had to go around and wait until the pace car was in position and the pace car was the box were open, the pits were open. So they were able to capitalize that as perfect as you can.
Yeah, sometimes the chips just fall your way, and that was definitely one of those times.
Wait a second.
Let's see who.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait here, Jeff, because
to see who.
Looks like we have a lot of confusion here on the positioning of it.
Yeah, we'll see how this works its way out there as the pace car. Once it turns his lights off there, we'll get a better feeling on how how it actually came out here.
Yeah, let's wait for everybody to cycle up and get back into the same lap.
Yeah. But right now, my software is telling me that the top 5 is as it looks there in your bottom left of your screen, with Borer being first, Stitchner second, Lattimore third, Burns fourth, and Hunsinger fifth. But we'll have to see how this works its way around. But for right now, that's your top 5.
Yeah, that's what's showing for me as well. But that's not what we're seeing on the track. So
we're getting a few wave arounds right now, looks like.
All right, this is very weird because it was showing that Nathan, all the guys that we thought that were able to pit exactly ahead of everybody, now it looked like they got stuck a lap behind for some reason.
Okay, so that's what happened.
Yeah, so a lot of the guys that were up front, Dalton Tucker, Josh Conover, Nate Miller, Chris Steele, all of those guys, they're going to restart all the way in the back in the 11, 12, 13 position. So the new leader is now Brad Borer in the number 15 with Anthony Titchener restarting right next to him on the 87.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. The lights are off and we are about to go green. And once again, Brad Borer is going to lead us to the stripe this time with Anthony Titchener to his outside.
48 to go at the line.
Awesome jump by the number 15, Brad. Yeah, very, very, very good jump by Brad Borer there on that restart there. I don't know if Anthony or Thomas wasn't expecting him to go so quickly, but man, that was quite the jump that the number 15 got there.
And Thomas was restarting third right behind him. He also had a really good jump, took advantage of Anthony being slow to restart on the outside, and he jumped to second.
Yeah, they're single file right now. We'll see how they play this out here with 46 more laps to go. It's going to be an interesting race, and we're going to have to see if old Dalton can come up. He's currently in 11, so he made a few spots, but we'll have to see if he can work his way back to the top. That's going to be fun to watch there.
Yeah, Jeff, my question right now is, can they go the distance? Can they go all the way to the end based on fuel? It's less than 50 laps, so we know that a full tank of fuel here in Phoenix, depending on caution and everything else, you can stretch it to almost 100 laps. So it's going to be interesting with ECR running 50% fuel loads, if they can stretch and go all the way to the end. As Brad comes to complete lap 130, 40 laps to go, 45 laps to go.
Yeah, I think I think if they can go green flag racing the rest of the way, my pick will still be that number 14 of Dalton Tucker, because it seems to me like he was able to go fairly fast even on old tires. So I think as long as this does go green, Dalton will be able to make his way up to the front. And it's just going to be fun to watch that. But right now, it looks like the 15 and the 8 have pulled out to a considerable lead over that third place car. And we'll see if they're driving the pants off of this thing, or if they're just trying to conserve quite a bit, but it's going to be hard to tell by looking. And that is an advantage for the leader there. He's in what we call clean air. He can pretty much drive his lazy line through there and keep his speed, to where other cars, when there's cars around you, you can't just go driving it in any way you want to there. You have to be certain that you're not going to make contact with other cars. So right now, as long as there's some clean air out in front of 15 there, he can make this stretch a little.
Yeah, right now, their best friend is being the 87 of Anthony Titchener. Anthony doesn't have the same speed that he had early in the race after that caution. So his car has some damage, and now we're seeing the effects. He's been really under pressure from the number 12 of Rob Burns, driving that Pennzoil machine, the yellow car. And he's bringing Scott Hunsinger back with him.
Yeah, he's bringing Scott with him. Right now we're focusing in on those 3 cars there. And they're tight. They're tight, and they got some company behind them as well. So, although those 2 cars pulled out with quite a lead behind them, the race for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, even all the way back to 7th, they are really battling it out.
Yeah, they're already almost 3 seconds behind the leader. So every lap that they keep battling, both Brad and Thomas Lattimore are going to thank them a lot. And everybody on that line, from Titchener all the way back to Dalton, who is now in the back of this thing. Everybody is on the same lap. Every position there is a fight. So we're going to have to keep an eye on as Aaron Berge dives to inside of the number 22 of Scott to take the 5th position away.
Yes. Lattimore was able to pick off the number 22 there. Now he's setting his sights on the number 12 in front of him. We'll see if the number 8 can push that number 12 forward, or see if the number 8 just tries to drive underneath him here and then make his way back towards the front.
Yeah, we haven't talked a lot about Aaron Berge after that initial cycle when he was on the track and he opted to stay out in front of everybody else.
It looks like Hunsinger's going to take that spot back. Sorry about that, Luis.
He goes to the inside. They go side by side on turn number 3.
And it's a drag race down the front stretch. It looks like number 8 is going to clear number 22.
Fuckers around.
Oh, who turned around?
Oh, big crash.
Number 3?
14 and 3.
14 and 3. Let's go ahead and look at the logistics in motion. Somebody ran out of town. On that Dalton Tucker. And we'll take a look and see exactly what happened.
Got loose coming into the front stretch. Tried everything that he could not to hit anything, not to lose control.
Yeah, we're watching it right now from Anthony. It looks like Anthony got a little loose. He's trying to hold it. He did a pretty good job, and he was going to save it, and then it looks like that number 3 came right in, and there was another one that hit him first. I don't know who it was, but serious damage.
6 Josh Conover as well. So 3 guys that were battling for top 10s.
Yeah, that's too bad that happened like that. But wow, that's gonna end 14's night for sure. I don't see him being able to come back after that right there.
Jeff, everybody to pit road. No one opting to stay out. Everybody playing it safe, coming to the pits, trying to get enough fuel to go the distance, and 4 fresh tires. Now is the time. Are we gonna see anybody opting for 2? Trying to jump start and get to the front, or everybody's going to take 4. Let's keep an eye out.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out and see what happens here. As we're focusing in right now on the 15, you can see the 15, the 8, and the 08. I saw the right sides go up on them, and it's going to be all 4 for all of them. Titchener's off first. Let's see if he can make up a few positions. Ooh, he's going to be second. Titchener is going to be second.
He beat Thomas Lattimore.
Yeah.
And Jeff, like you said, a lot of damage to that 14 car of Dalton Tucker. He already disconnected, put his car back towards the garage. So end of the race for him. One of the favorites, led a lot of laps. But still, he won here yesterday on the Xfinity, on the BeeLine Sim Series, the B cars. So he was trying to go back, but apparently Lady Luck still hasn't found the 14 on the Cup Series. Almost won last week. Again, another very strong showing tonight. But he's going to have to try again at Auto Club next week.
Yeah, I'm sure he's very disappointed. He had to have thought that he had the car to beat with all the speed that he had there. Just goes to show that the slip up and moving and having to start in the back of the field on that last caution there, it probably is what cost him his race.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to guys after the race to figure that out, what happened during that pit stops, because it was very weird because they were leading. All of a sudden, they were sent to the back of the pack.
Yeah, and a lot of times this is a simulation, and it's not always perfect, and there are those times where iRacing just messes up, and it jumbles up to positions. That could have just been one of those iRacing deals where stuff happens.
And Jeff, as we approach now the end of the race, almost 30, we're going to go green with 32 laps to go, 33 to 32 laps to go. Just to go by our top 10 right now, Brad Bourne, the number 15, he's our leader. He's going to restart first. Anthony Titchener on the 87 right next to him. Thomas Lattimore is third. Rob Burns in fourth. Scott Hunsinger is fifth. Aaron Berge sixth. Nathan Miller seventh. Ken Worley in eighth. Jerome Gustin in ninth. And Jordan Mackey closing out the top 10. Those are the guys that on this restart are going to be very aggressive. Let's see who plays it safe, who goes for broke, who dives to that inside on the dog leg, trying to get as much as they can, praying to God that the car will stick and they can brake on turn number 3.
Yeah, they got to be careful, though. Those brand new tires, like I said earlier in the broadcast, they aren't too sticky yet. So they're going to have to be paying attention to how they are throttling in and off.
Awesome jump by Brad.
Yeah, awesome jump by Brad. He has been pretty stellar on those startups. He's going to be chased down by Anthony. It appears to me as though Titchener is quite an aggressive driver. And I don't think he's going to try to waste any time with getting up front. I think he wants that clean air, and he wants to get away from that number 8 of Thomas Lattimore and that number 12 of Rob Burns.
Jeff, we're being told by race control that both Thomas Lattimore and Rob Burns that restarted all the way to the front, they're getting black flag. They're having to go and have a drive through the pits. Not sure why, but they both got black flag on that restart.
The only thing I can maybe think of is maybe caught passing before the start-finish line or passing on the inside. It's hard to say without actually being in the simulator itself. But that is going to really hurt with 35-mile-an-hour pit speeds. They're going to go a lap down at least.
Yeah, they're back on the track. They're not gonna lose a lap yet, but they're gonna be right in front of our leader, Brad Bohr.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting and praying to God for a caution. You do not want to go a lap down this late in you don't want to go a lap down this late in a race because it's likely. Did number 15 have contact with the wall there?
No, that was Anthony Titchener on the 87. He touched the wall, came to the inside, but still going.
All right, so no caution. No caution.
No caution.
15 is absolutely loving his current lead that he's having. Let's go ahead and look from his car. You can see the lead. Currently looking from the rear view at the cars behind number 15. You can see he's got quite the commanding lead. That's for sure.
He's pulling away. He was 3/10 faster than Aaron Berge at that last lap. He turned 27.574 against 27.8 from Aaron. So he's pulling away over everybody else.
Yeah, he's pulling away here. We're going to have to see if anyone come out and challenge for him. Again, Dalton Tucker was quite fast, and he's pretty much, for all intents and purposes, out of the race. He did disconnect. He must have had 30 or 40 minutes of damage. But the viewers can see right now the distance between the number 15 and the number 8 of Aaron Berg. It's quite the gap. We'll have to see if Aaron can go ahead and run him down, or if maybe 15 burns his tires up too quick and 8 can slowly close the distance. But right now he does have a commanding lead in that Chevy SS, and we'll see if he can go ahead and make it work all the way out to that 175 lap mark.
Jeff, talk about consistency. They both just turned in the exact same lap time. 27.825 for both Brad Bohr and Aaron Berge, our first and second places right now.
Yeah, and something to add to that a little bit is that the third, fourth, and fifth place car had faster lap times. So we have a lot of time left. We have 25 more laps, and it looked like the third through fifth was actually going even faster than those two. So we'll have to see if they're going to be able to make up that time. It's only a 10th there per lap that they're making up, but every 10th counts here in stock car racing.
Brad's now operating under a very secure blanket over there. Every time that you can build up almost a second and a half of lead, you have enough time to make a little mistake, to touch the wall here and there, to be a little bit loose and still not lose a lot of ground. So you have a little bit of a cushion for a small little mistake. So he can pretty much right now just sit tight and try to just ride his line. But for the looks of it, Aaron Berge doesn't want to let him get away. He's now closing the distance.
Yeah, he made
he
up
was
two,
now he was now 2
2
tenths faster than our leader.
Yeah, he made up 2 tenths there. Further back in the pad, let's go ahead and take a look at the 99 of Worley. He's been battling Thitchner here for a little bit, and the number 43 is pushing as well. So that number 99, he's trying to grab that 5th place spot from Thitchner. We'll see if he can go ahead and do that.
And I don't want to jinx my friend Ken Worley here, but he seems to have one of the cleanest cars on the track right now. His number 99 machine looks to be in pretty steam condition. So we know that Anthony has damage. We can see that Jerome has damage. And he's another guy that started all the way mid to back of the pack. He started back in 16th position and now fighting for a top 5 position. So great race for him. Ken is always one of those guys that is always very calm, never wants to do anything. He's very consistent, and at the end of the races, what do you know? He's back in the. So another great race for him.
Yeah, and we're riding along right now with Worley as he battles to try to take that 5th position from Thitchner. He doesn't seem to be losing much ground or gaining much ground. Maybe he's just content to stay behind him, or he's waiting for Thitchner to make a mistake, knowing that Thitchner is one of our more aggressive drivers. But right now, you can see those top 3 going in turn 1, and they got quite the lead on the 4th and the 5th place position. Let's go ahead.
Berge seems to be the only one that can keep up with Brad right now. Both Scott and Nathan are starting to fall off the pace. Scott has over 2 seconds behind from Brad, and Nathan's almost 3 seconds back now.
Yeah, absolutely. Their times there are all within about a 10th currently right now, but the fastest last lap was your leader, Brad Bohr. So he's pulling a little bit further ahead with each lap that we're seeing.
Jeff, one thing that I'm noticing here, Brad's driving a very aggressive line going into the turn number 3. He's really pushing the limit of the track, going sometimes even beyond the limits, going under that yellow line, going into 3. So he's really trying to cut as much of the track as he can, trying to be as fast around this place as possible.
Absolutely. And as we ride on board with Brad right now, we can see what Luis is talking about there. As you saw going into 3, he did go a little bit below the yellow line there. So we'll go ahead and ride one lap around with Brad Bohr here and see the line that he's taking. So yeah, you saw him go to the line there through 1 and 2. And let's check it out here in 3. Just like Luis said, he is actually going right onto the yellow line. And he's really working that throttle. You can hear him feathering it and being real smooth with it. Luis, tell us about weight transfer in the car and how that's important to throttle control.
Well, every time that when you think about a car, you need to think that the weight transfer from this car, every time that they brake, you're going to see a lot of the weight shifting from the back the left rear of the car on that inside left tire, going all the way across towards the right front tire. So every time that they go, like coming out of the front stretch and having to do a heavy braking on turn number 1, the weight distribution, the weight transfer in the car is going to try to push that front right wheel as much to the outside as it can. Once they go back into the gas, that weight shifts completely towards the other side of the car. So you're going to have a massive load transferring from the left side to the right side on the back of the car, and that's why you see these guys getting loose every time that they go on very hard on the gas, because the weight's shifting, the tires are trying to get contact with the ground, and as worn as they get from laps and laps and laps, and the heat that they build, it's very hard for them to keep that contact with the track. I'm sorry. So put that into consideration. If you don't manage that gas, that's why they need to be very aware of the amount of gas that they apply every time they go around a track, because one small move, that weight's going to shift, and all of a sudden, you're not going to be able to control it.
Absolutely. Very, very good description of what happens there. We do have 13 laps to go. Once again, this is the ECR Cup Series at Phoenix, sponsored by Logistics in Motion. They run every Wednesday night. Races begin at 9:30 Eastern. Practice usually about 2 hours before that. If you want information on this series or any other 2 series, you can go to their league website, which is scrolling across the bottom, www.ecrleague.com, and find out all the information you need and sign up for any one of their 3 series. They run the trucks, the Xfinities, and they also run, as you see tonight, the Cup Series.
Jeff, one thing that we need to keep an eye out, and this has just been informed to me by one of our league members, we're very close right now to reaching the maximum time limit for the race. Not only we have the laps, but there's also a time limit for our drivers to finish the race, and we're cutting it very short. We're under 10 minutes now to the end of the session. So if they don't go green to the end, if they go green, that's fine. They're going to be able to hit the 175 lap schedule for tonight's race. If we see a caution, chances are we may end up with this race cut short by time. So they need to be aware of that. Race controls letting our drivers know that this is a possibility. So another monkey wrench that they're going to have to negotiate with that.
Absolutely. We can think of it as storm clouds coming over Phoenix International Speedway. We may have this thing cut short, but hopefully there's no cautions and we can see this thing raced out to the end. Brad Borer does have a commanding lead. I'm showing about 1.5 seconds currently over the number 2 of the second place car, Aaron Berg. So if this thing should go green, minus some sort of foul up or that lap car in front of the number 15, he should be able to come out ahead. Right now, Aaron's either wanting a caution or that number. What car is that in front of Brad?
Well, is it
the
12 or Rob Burns?
Yes. Yeah, Rob Burns. A lot of times, the lap cars, they can slow down that lead car there and allow that second place car to get a little bit closer. But I'll say right now, if I was anyone on the track, I'd want to be number 15 because he has a pretty commanding lead, and barring anything crazy, he should be able to pull this one off.
They've been exchanging lap times over the last couple of laps. One lap, Aaron's going to take a little bit. The other lap, Brad's going to gain a little bit back. So they're fluctuating between 1.3 and 1.6 seconds of Brad's lead. So, and the good thing for Brad right now, that both guys that are immediately in front of him, even though they are potentially lap cars, they were cars that were running for top 5. So both Rob Burns and Thomas Lattimore, they are right in front of the leader, but they're really fast cars. So they're actually helping Brad to keep pace because he knows that they are really fast. They're not going to do anything stupid right in front of him.
We have a spin. We have a spin. It looks like this thing is
there you go.
And under caution. That was, who was that? The number 82. Is that right?
I'm searching.
I think it was the number 82.
No,
I
that
know
was not Jordan.
Thitchner got loose, and then let's take a look.
Oh no, Thitchner got loose, and Ken Worley coming behind him had to check up, and he got hit by Jerome Gustin coming out of turn number.
Yeah,
so the 43
here we are.
hit the 99.
We're taking a look at it right now. We can see that 43 is going to tap the 99. Thitchner got loose, 99 checked up, and the 43 tapped the 99 of Mr. Worley there. So that's what brought out your caution. We'll go ahead and go back to live tape now. And let's see how this is going to make this go. I don't know. You think we're going to have enough time?
We're going to be very close. We're going to be very close.
It's going to be close. We're currently on lap 171. We should, if it goes green, have 2 laps. Is that right, Luis? Probably about 174.
Probably. The thing is, ECR doesn't operate with green-white checkers. So if they go green with less than 2 laps, we're probably not going back to green. Just because we don't operate with green-white checkers. So we're going to have to see if the pace car lights are going to go out now.
This is lap 171. I'm really looking forward to a green flag finish here. This has tightened everything up. So if we do go green, do you think that number 8 car, Thomas Lattimore, is gonna be able to do anything? Or what do you think?
The 8 is Aaron Berge. The 08 is Thomas Lattimore.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry.
Berge is now sitting second. Thomas is back in 12.
What do you think about this? Sitting back in 9th or in 10th is Anthony Thitchner. He's only got 2 laps on his tires.
Yeah, he just pitted. But Anthony was given an EOL, so he's going to have to restart all the way in the back of the pack.
All right. That's what I was wondering. So, okay.
Yeah.
So
Jeff, right now, the race is on Brad Boer's hands because everybody on the track is now with the same rubber. From that last pit stop, no one pitted. Everybody's sitting top 5, top 6. They're with the same type of rubber. And he controls the restart. So he will dictate if we go back green when he wants to go. So he can pretty much play games with all of these guys and just decide to go whenever he pleases. He should have the possibility to dive into turn number 1, make his braking point exactly like he wants to, control the outside, and if he clears that dog leg going into the lap number 3, turn number 3, unless he makes a mistake, I don't see him losing this race. So it's all up to him right now. We are going to go back green.
2 laps to go. Yep, the lights are off the pace car. And for those who don't know, once the lights go off the pace car, the next time around the stripe, they will be going green. So I'm excited to see this here.
Yeah, we may see, even though iRacing doesn't have that, we may see a green-white checker just because of time. There you go, a green-white checker situation because we may have the white flag the moment that the time will be ready.
Absolutely. So number 15, it's very important that he gets a good jump here. And he has been, the last 2 cautions, he's gotten serious jumps. So I'm going to guess he's going to do something a little different here because the other cars behind him have good memory. Look,
he's slowing down. The tires.
There he goes. Yeah, the 8 got a little bit loose there. But this is definitely
he got a pretty good jump. He got a good jump.
Yeah, he did. That Scott Huntinger is right behind there. Let's see what he can do. Brad's pulling away. Number 8 alongside number 22. And the 41 dipping down low.
This is everything that Brad wanted. A fight for second place. He's going to be able to pull away.
Yes, absolutely. Number 15 jumping out ahead. Let's go ahead and pull back to the 22 and 8. They are neck and neck going down the front stretch. There's a crash.
A caution at the back.
It's going to end just like this.
No caution. No caution. They're going to drive to the checker.
That's what we wanted. No caution. Let's see if that number 41 is going to die below 22. Let's see if he can make this pass. Looks like Brad Boer is going to go on to win this, but second place and third place are still up for grabs. 41's coming out of turn 3 and 4. Is he going to be able to take third? And no. 22 Scott Hunsinger does clear him. It looks like your top 5 unofficially is going to be that of first Brad Bohr, second Berg, third Hunsinger, fourth Nate Miller, and number 5th, a guy we haven't talked about much at all today, Jerome Gustin, in that number 43.
Yeah, an awesome job by Brad. He completely controlled that restart. Had an awesome jump coming out of that green-white checker situation. Made his way to the first, second turns. Took advantage of the fight between Scott Hunsinger and Aaron Berge. Scott almost got to Aaron Berge fighting for that second position. And Brad Bohr comes to win his first win here in the ECR Cup Series.
Yes, sir. So Brad Bohr is your ECRL Cup winner. And we're going to go ahead and ride on board and watch him burn this thing down.
Yeah, Jeff, apparently with the confusion of a lot of guys crashing on that last lap, apparently there was a white flag around the track, but by rules, if there's a situation for a yellow flag on the last lap, the yellow flag doesn't apply. They drive to the line. So a couple guys got a little bit confused with that thing. That didn't bother Brad Bohr at all. He knew what he had to do, get to that line first. That's what he did, and he drove his number 15 Monster Chevy SS to the win.
Absolutely. And fantastic run by number 15. He had a strong car all night. Having that front position there at the end with only 2 laps to go and getting that lead, that was key. He was able to get out in front, and of course Berg and Hunsinger, they had to battle each other, and of course they were losing time the whole time they were doing that. So it was tailor-made for him there, but it was a fantastic 175 lap race. It was really fun to watch. I'm showing that we had a total of 5 lead changes and 13 cautions. But Brad Bohr did come out ahead here in Phoenix, and hopefully we can bring a few of these guys into the broadcasting booth and we can talk to them about the race.
Yeah, we're going to talk with Scott Hunsinger, Aaron Berge, and Brad Bohr. Let's just wait a little bit for them to get a sip of water, go back to the pits.
Yes, sir.
Can you move them down here, Jeff?
Let me try to move them down. Okay, Brad Bohr. Let's see here. Brad. Bradley, do you got a copy? This is Ford Entertainment Broadcasting.
I do, 10-4.
All right, congratulations.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Congratulations for winning at Phoenix. It was a tough racetrack tonight, and you seem to handle a little bit better than the cars behind you. What was the secret tonight?
To be honest with you, just trying to conserve, not go in there too hard, and just try to keep it clean.
I hear you.
Hey,
on
Brett.
that. Go
Hey,
ahead,
Brett.
Luis.
This is Luis.
Hey, Luis, how you doing, man?
I'm good, bud. Not as happy as you are right now, I'm pretty sure. You just got your first win here in the ECR Cup Series. We saw you drive in the top 5 most of the race. You were battling Nathan, you were battling Dalton, you were battling Aaron, you were battling Anthony. Everybody that tried, you were still in the top 2, top 3. Very consistent laps throughout the race. When you guys went green after the last pit stop and you were able to hold the lead and you're keeping it there, Aaron Berge coming here in second, and you're fluctuating between a second and a half, little bit in a second. He would be faster, you would be faster. And once you saw that caution with a couple of laps to go, just let us know what came through your head. What was the mindset over that thing, not knowing if you guys were going to go back green, if you were, what were the strategy? Just guide us through. We were talking a lot during the race about what goes on through the driver's mind. Just let us know from underneath your helmet what came into your head once you saw that caution come around.
So, of course, driving in those last few laps before that caution, that's the whole thing you think about is please, no caution. You just want to keep driving away if you can, keep it smooth. Then when the caution did come out, I looked at the clock, see how much more time we had left. It wasn't a whole lot, but I also wanted that track position. I wanted to be up front, and so I was going to stay out no matter what. Got a pretty decent jump, spun the tires definitely, but kept it straight and just kept it moving.
Well, that made the difference, bud. You were able to drive all the way around, came home first, took the checker flag. Anybody at home, everybody that you want to say a big shout out to, we'll give you the floor. The floor is yours. Our winner tonight, Brad Bohr.
Well, I just want to appreciate everybody at home watching. Thank you guys for broadcasting. And thanks for the new sponsor for sponsoring us. I really appreciate it. I had fun. I love racing here at ECR.
There you go, Jeff. Our first place winner, Brad Bohr, winner tonight here in the ECR Cup Series. I believe we have our second place finisher tonight, Aaron Berge, also in the booth. Aaron, you got a copy?
Aaron.
Hey, Aaron, Louise here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, bud? Well, his microphone doesn't seem to be working. A little bit of a technical problem. Let's try to talk with Scott Hunsinger that drove all the way back from that early caution that he was involved in that little accident, drove all the way back to third. Scott, you have...
Yes, sir.
Well, a little bit of an accident early in the race. We brought you in the broadcast booth. You said that the car was not that bad. You had around 30 seconds of damage. Let us know, how was the race from that point on? What did you do to drive through the mayhem, drive through everybody else, and come home with the third place finish? Awesome driving for you, coming all the way back to third place. Let us know how you...
Yeah, I was kind of up and down, right? I mean, start second and then have a little self-spin, put myself back in trouble. But more or less just a benefactor of a lot of other guys having trouble tonight to kind of get this third place. So I'll take it however I can get it. It was fun coming back up through the field, and like I said, it was kind of up and down. I had moments where I was drifting around there myself, but was able to keep it in one place, keep it straight, so it worked out.
There you go. Jeff, got any questions for Scott?
No, I don't have any questions for Scott. Good run tonight, Scott. You were able to keep the car underneath you there at the end, and as they say, as long as you can get it there to the end, you have a shot at winning. And you definitely had a shot there with that caution there. You just couldn't. You had to battle the number 8 there for a little while, let 15 get away. But anytime you're talking to me or Luis here in the broadcast booth, that means you got a podium finish, and there certainly is nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. I just want to thank you guys for putting on a good show and say hi to my mom and dad. They like to tune in and watch these things, so really appreciate what you guys do.
There you go. Scott Hunsinger, driver of the number 22, here tonight, coming home with a third place finisher. Awesome job driving back after some initial problems. Let's see if we can talk now with Aaron Berge, see if his microphone is working. Aaron, do you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm back.
I can see his microphone working, but I cannot hear him. Let's try again. I got a copy here in the broadcast booth.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Aaron, I can copy you. It appears as though Louise can't copy you there. First off,
okay.
Congratulations on your second place finish there. You did finish second tonight, and it's a podium finish. So anytime you're talking to me or Louise, it's an excellent night for you. You know, I know you would have rather had first place, but you can't
definitely.
You definitely can't complain about second. It appeared like 15 got a pretty good jump there, and then with you having to battle the number 8 car or the number 22 car there, it just let him get away a little bit. But tell us how your night went. Any strategies that you used to get up to second place there?
Well, all in all, I thought it went pretty well. I got a black flag for evidently going through too many pit stalls on pit entry. there on lap 100 or something like that. And I was thinking maybe that was the end of it, but then another caution came out, gave me the lucky dog, and I fought my way back up.
That you did, and it was a pretty impressive drive back to the front. We saw with a lot of the drivers today, with the track temperatures being close to 108 degrees, that it was pretty much like an ice skating rink out there. But
well, especially on the exit, on the exit to the front stretch, it was pretty slick.
Yeah, that one claimed quite a few drivers. Quite a few drivers made the "somebody ran out of talent" replay, which is just a little fun poking at the drivers. But we do know that these cars are very difficult to drive, and you guys pretty much made it look easy. So with the second place finish, congratulations to you. And you want to put any shout outs towards anybody that makes that number 8 car go, and any final words?
Well, yeah, just it was a good day. I appreciate you guys putting on the show, and obviously, all the admins doing the hard work that they do. Other than that, looking forward to next week.
Absolutely, and once again, congratulations on your podium finish, and hope to see you next week. And you take care.
Thanks, man. You too.
Well, there you have it, Luis. We should probably give them the rundown of the standings there. I'll go ahead and do the first 5 there. Coming in first there was Brad Bohr in that number 15 car, Aaron Berg in the number 8, Scott Hunzinger in that 22 car, Nathan Miller in 4th, Jerome Gustin in 5th.
Keep it going. I lost the final results here, so if you have it in front of you, just keep it going.
Oh, no problem at all. That number 12, Rob Burns coming in 6th, Mark Figueroa in 7th, Chris Steele in 8th, Jordan Mackey in 9th, that number 69 of David Bordner in 10th, Ken Worley, that 99 car, 11th. Those were your cars on the lead lap. 12th, Thomas Lattimore, 13th, Hatterick. I'm not going to try to... His first name, Jill, maybe? Gile? Hatterick. Jai. Okay, Jai. Jai Hatterick, 13th. Anthony Thitchner in 14th. Josh Conover, 15th. Dalton Tucker, 16th. Tough luck for him as he went out early in a caution there with a few laps to go, about 40 to go. Then there's Mike Montesi, 17th. Rob Haynes in 18th. Jeremy Rubin in 19th. That is our service member, the number 24, Jeremy Rubin. We are sad to see that he has to go to South Korea, but duty calls, and once again, we thank him for his service. The number 18 of Tony Gennario is 20th. 21st, Daniel Reese. 22nd, Douglas Hess. 23rd, Joey Stats. 24th, Chris Collins. 25th, Scotty Brown. Scotty Brown, once again, is the broadcaster of Yeah Broadcasting, who does the Truck Series, which is on Monday night. And 26th, you have Josh Salcy. 27th, Christian Snyder. 28th of Justin Bland. 30th, 31st. The rest of the guys, they didn't actually grid, so we won't go into them. But those were your standings for tonight's ECRL Cup Series at Phoenix, brought to you by Logistics in Motion. Any final words for the viewers there, Luis?
This was an awesome race. I think we saw everything that we always see here in Phoenix. Side-by-side action, a lot of different strategies, guys having to be aggressive and having to save their equipment at the same time. So an awesome race, an awesome finish. Very good strategy play by Brad Bohr, and really happy who was able to bring his number 15 Monster Chevy SS home for the win. I know that he was fighting that for a while, trying to get that first win of the Cup Series. So awesome finish for him.
Absolutely. So this is the Ford Entertainment Group broadcasting group, and we thank you for tuning in. And once again, ECRLleague.com is your website, and they run 3 series. They run a Truck Series, an Xfinity Series, and a Cup Series. Truck Series on Mondays, Xfinity on Tuesdays, and of course the Cup Series on Wednesdays. You can find out all the information that you need at the website that was scrolling across the bottom, ECRleague.com, and we'll leave you with an ECRL commercial, which will have all that information as well. So Jeff Ford for the Ford Entertainment Group, Luis in the broadcast booth with me, And we bid you a good night.
Good night, everybody.